Alright guys, episode 6 is here. And it is Psycho franchise time. Love all of them in all honesty. There's just one in all honesty I could say I just didn't care for. I just didn't care for it. Okay? But I love all the Psycho franchise as well. So let's dive into it. Let's see the tier list. So first up, we have Mother, which means great classic. We have A Boy's Best Friend is His Mother, which means it's okay, it's good, love it, there's really nothing negative to say about it. And then we have Mama's Boy, which is, that one that I don't really care for that much. Like, I probably wouldn't watch it over and over again. But yeah, you get the point. Nothing really negative to say about the whole franchise. Let's dive in. Also going to do the same thing I did in the last video. I'm going to rank them from least to best, and also, rate them and tier them. Getting into my number 5 spot, the one I like the least, Psycho 4. Like, literally, it's not a bad movie. It's absolutely not a bad movie. This is just the one I like the least out of the whole franchise. Like, in all honesty, if they didn't make it, I wouldn't cry. Like, I really wouldn't lose any sleep, and I wouldn't be hurt over it, if that makes sense. It's the least one that I just didn't care for out of the whole series. That's it. Nothing negative to really say about it. Besides on some part, or a good little bit of the movie, it's just boring. Like, the story's just slow. It's not the best piece of work they've done. They probably could have did better describing, the movie about where they were going for. That's really it. Like, there's really nothing negative else to say about that, but you get my point. So my number 5 spot, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. And y'all already know where it's going. Which brings me to my number 4 spot. It's going to be Psycho 3. In all honesty, it's not a bad movie at all. I enjoy this movie over and over again. There's just certain plot lines that I feel that could have fit better, especially with Norman. But that's just me personally. Nothing really negative to say. Love the freaking movie. So that's why it fits in my number 4. And I'll easily give it a 7 out of 10. And we're going to put that sucker in A Boy's Best Friend is His Mother. Which is going to bring me to my number 3 spot. And that is Psycho 1998. The remake. The one with Vince Vaughn. In all honesty, I don't think Vince Vaughn did a horrible job at all. A lot of people hate on it. A lot of people want to say it's, I honestly enjoyed it. I honestly think he did a great menacing type of... It was just wicked. Like he did that part perfect, in my opinion. I think he did, just menacing, weird Norman Bates role. And I'm not a Vince Vaughn fan. I'm really not. But he did a really good job playing Norman Bates, in my opinion. It was just like a weird, utter, this dude's weird and creepy type of feeling. And that's what Norman Bates is supposed to be. It was just an awkward feeling, too. Like, he was always awkward in the movie, which Vince Vaughn is honestly awkward sometimes. But it literally fit. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the way they did some of the sequences. I didn't see anything terribly wrong with it. It's just not the best one. So that's why it's my number 3. And I'll easily give it a solid 8. Like, I'm not even going to say nothing less than that, because it's really and honestly a good movie. Now I'm going to slide him in there with A Boy's Best Friend is His Mother. Which is going to bring me to my number 2. I'm going to catch hell for it. And that is the first Psycho. Yeah, I know what y'all thinking. Oh my God, comic verse. You picked the sequel over the original? But just hear me out. We'll get to that one. Just hear me out. This one has absolutely loved it. I can basically say they're both equal for me. I'll just explain why I like the sequel just a little bit more. But I love this. I love it so much. I could watch it over and over again. And I don't even care. A lot of people want to say, well, it's an old movie. Yeah, it don't even matter, dude. Like, literally, this movie is freaking peak. This stuff could really happen, guys. And that's what makes it so menacing for me and enjoyable. And they did a great job of playing Norman as a crazy person who thinks his mom is alive. Like, literally, that was just menacing. So it's definitely going to be my number 2. And I'll easily give it a 9 out of 10. And I'll slide it right into the Mother spot, because it is definitely a classic. Which brings me to Psycho 2. And the reason I love it, just a slight, I'm talking about a hair inch more than the original, is because of the way they tied it in, the way they continued that storyline, and everybody gets worried on sequels. And let me tell you, I'm the first person that does that, because I'm like, oh my god, how are they going to follow up? This is going to make or break the, this is going to make or break the franchise. They did great. The way they tied it in with the new girl, I forget her name. Don't quote me on it. I forget her name, but she's amazing. And the way they tied in with her, and how he goes back to being like, did I really do those things? Like it's a mental thing where he truly believes he didn't do them, and then he goes right back to doing it, and literally tricks this girl because he falls in love with her, and tricks her, and it's just menacing the whole time. Like, you're just like, he's in love with this girl. She don't know he's doing this. They're tying it in nicely, and he's still doing the same stuff. And all these people believe that he is truly sorry, but he's not. He's doing it again and again. And then he goes back to the mother stuff. Like, literally, I don't see how you could get any better with a sequel than that. Like, literally, there was nothing, absolutely nothing negative I could say about this movie. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I could watch it over and over again. So that's why it's my number one. I'm easily going to give it a 9 out of 10. And it's definitely going in the mother slot, because it is definitely a freaking classic. But just in case you missed it, guys, here's my tier list. Here's my ranking and ratings. And I literally just want to say I love this whole franchise. There's no hate towards any of the movies. There's just some I love just a little bit more. Y'all tune in for episode 7, which we will be discussing the Candyman franchise.